So SB has vetoed Aeon and is picking Aeon UEF, and UD has banned UEF and is picking Aeon UEF. So it's an Aeon versus UEF game.
Yeah, I mean, Stena is really the pick you make if you're gonna plan to be aggressive, of course, with Multas, RT drops, because late game UEF is just better than Sarah on a map like this. But early game Sarah will be a lot better.
Also, I have to say this is a very nice looking map, Gen. Aesthetically.
Yes.
Gameplay wise, we'll see.
If you tilt the camera like a few degrees, like the bottom right, if you tilt 45 degrees, there's a sad face, there's two eyes, there's blushing cheeks, and there's a big nose.
Fascinating.
That's my conclusion of this map.
I mean, that's a pretty solid analysis right there.
Oh, this is one of those maps with almost no reclaim. Also, barely any trees.
Yeah, barely any reclaim. No mexes near your start location.
I love how Yuri just pauses.
I mean,
also it's not 20 seconds. Like his engineer is only like, well, he's making a spirit. It's only like 4 seconds behind Judy.
Yeah, that's. It's not AFK 20 seconds. This is.
He said that at 44 seconds into the game, and it takes what is it 30 seconds to make a factory, plus you have the initial like 6 seconds before you can start your factory, and so it was like 5-6 seconds at most.
Yep, it looks fine. It looks like just how a normal game should proceed.
It does. Well, he made first spirit, which is, again, I don't know why, because I mean this map is not a. I mean, you make transport, sure, but you don't rush transport to drop the middle, because it's so much more important to secure your own maxes first, right? Because sure, there's some contestable maxes, but if you delay your own expansion by getting like the middle maxes under your control, the contestable maxes, but then you still have like half the income of your opponent if he just drops his own expansion first, right? So, like what I would probably do in situations like this is not really rush it, but just grab your own stuff, rush Tech 2, and use the Tech 2 to get control over the drop locations potentially, if it's needed. That is, if your opponent didn't do the same thing.
I mean, how do you feel about this fast lane scout to middle?
I don't like it.
Yeah, like what actually is this going to see? Its radar range compared to like the size of the map is it's terrible. It's not going to see anything.
The issue is, I mean, if UD sends some units straight through to Pepsi, it will like see a scout, so it can lock any unit UD sends straight to Pepsi like a scout. The issue is, I don't dislike the move, it's just too early. Again, like, what's the use of it being there at minute 2.5? Like, you could have built like 2 or 3 engineers before it, and then it's fine, because it's so cheap. It doesn't really hinder you a lot, but it doesn't make sense to go first scout. Because UD doesn't even have an air factory, and it's already in position to scout this. Like, he could have gone 3 engineers minimum before the scout, and it would have been fine.
Looks like we're going to have an interceptor scout transport out from SB and a scout interceptor transport out from UD. Almost the same thing.
Yes. In this case, the Inti first kind of makes a bit more sense, because it's very likely that UD sends his air scouts in vision of the radar of the spirits. Which is actually what's happening, because that's often how you send your first scouts. So if Pepsi can lock UD scout here, if he pays attention.
Yep, it's in the radar range. Does he lock it?
I'm not sure. It didn't show commands, but often it's bugged. Yeah, he's locked it.
He gets it. All right.
And that's actually that makes the spirit worth it because now Yudi is in the dark completely. The issue is still the spirit. It should have just been like second or third.
But now the inties have found each other, and now there's another scout going up top left with a bomber from SB.
Yeah. Yudi's just gonna run away with his inti.
I like this order from the inti. It's doing like the grand tour of the universe here.
Yeah, I saw.
It will literally take it 3.5 minutes to fly this path.
I like that Yudi is moving out his SU to do some expansion, so it cannot get bombed. Meanwhile, he's sending a drop to the bottom of the map, considering most of the air engagement is happening at the top. That kind of makes sense. Pepsi is a bit faster at expanding in his main area though. Pepsi is gonna drop his own bottom right expansion and then also gonna drop the right side. No, Yudi's gonna make a proxy? What?
Alright, Yudi's going all in on this proxy. Let's see. This is 3 mech marines and 3 engineers. Okay. Hold on to your seats, folks. We're going places.
I like the mech marines. What I don't Yudi's making taxi mechs. I guess he was wasting his mass otherwise. Yudi has not enough E.
He does not.
Like he's spamming inties, he has 5 inties, but none of them are sent to cover his drop. And Pepsi only has 1 intie, by the way. And Pepsi made 1 intie and then went straight to tech to air. He's halfway to tech to air.
Wait, what? Alright, this man can just like build a single gunship and solve all his problems. I want to see if SB sees the incoming transport, though.
He must be like, what the fuck?
I mean, the 2 transports might pass each other. Yeah, they basically run into each other. Did either of them notice? I'm not sure SB has a good option to react to this. He sort of doesn't have anything. He's busy in the middle of a T2 upgrade.
Factory, but, I mean, he basically has to rush a gunship.
Alright, now he should notice this is happening, as the mech marines drop and immediately kill one of his engineers. He does have a land factory that is almost done, so he can build flares to fight the mech marines.
He does. I think Yudi sends a few too many mech marines here. It was only 3 engineers, so it will take quite a bit of time. Pepsi instantly moves his SU to the right, which makes sense. Yudi is now dropping the mid with his transport instead of his own side. Wait, he's sending 1 duplication to the mid and the next to the bottom? That's very weird. I feel like he should just drop the contestable areas first and then make another transport. Also, this bomber from Pepsi, he got through all the inties from Yudi that he's sending to the bottom.
Yudi's actually building an AA turret in the middle of his base just to deal with this bomber. Which is actually going to kill a significant portion of the engineers in this base.
Yeah. Finally! Finally Yudi does a good future T3 air setup. Because he can fit a T3 pigeon perfectly in between his air factories, how he placed them.
I'm so proud of him.
And that's also his first tech to mech, so he will make fully use of adjacency. That's actually a great looking base, unironically. I lost connection to Yudi.
I also lost connection to Yudi.
Wow. That's big yikes.
Can you go check Yudi's stream? See what's up with him?
I mean, he's delayed, so...
Oh, wait. I just got connection back to him.
Me too. But Yudi is still 2 behind, it says.
Let's give this a minute.
It is recoverable, considering we got it back.
Yeah, this might... Gotta love technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's... I would really hate it if somehow the game ends here.
Yep.
There he goes again.
I mean, this very well may be recoverable. We'll see. We'll wait this out. So he's coming back.
It's having a real tough time.
Like, something's clearly happening. Because now it looks like he's got 1 data, 3 behind. If I'm reading this correctly, it looks like you have a decent connection to UD. Just no one else does.
You have no connection to him?
No, the dialogue has gone away.
Oh, I can see UD talk now. Dude, the stream went offline, by the way.
His stream went offline?
But he is talking in game.
I cannot see him talking in game.
Yeah. Pepsi just said, that's a win, Kappa. I mean, it shouldn't be a win. Although it is past minute, I mean, I don't know the rules. It is past minute 5. What's usually?
Yeah, it's a disconnect after minute 5, which is.
But it's also the first disconnect, and because it's 20 kilometer map, almost no interaction happens yet. So it's completely different than from 5 kilometers. It would be insanely fucking.
Yeah, I want to say this is a re and not necessarily a loss here. Because we're only 6 minutes in, and it is a 20 kilometer.
I mean, I'm connected to everyone. I just lost. Well, I see you and Pepsi just kicked Judy, so it's now unrecoverable.
I see that SP kicked Judy, but that I haven't.
And Judy kicked SP. The thing is, Judy actually reconnected, but only to me and not to the others.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even really disconnect here. He just not fully. So I'm gonna say this is a re, and we'll take it from there.
I mean, this should be a re. It's I mean, it's shit nonetheless, no matter the outcome. But I like how your keyboard is louder than your voice.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm almost tempted to to re-roll the map, but I think
I'm kind of sad. This is the first time in that Judy is being aggressive like this in a 1v1. Well, I mean, he can be pretty aggressive, but usually not to this extent, and then he just lost the connection. Yikes. That's kind of sad.
That's pretty sad. Oh no. It happens. I guess we should check if there's a problem with the FAF server. Or is this just UD's connection?
I don't see any service status updates today, so.
Yeah, it looks like FAF server is fine today. At least as far as the notifications
I mean,
work.
UD stream went offline, so it was his issue anyway. I'm the only one that reconnected to him.
Ice kind of worked. Like a little bit.
Yeah. It's a re especially because it's only like a minute above the time, plus it is a big map, plus there were no connection issues before. Like if it's like a repetitive thing, then at some point like you can't give them res, but if it's a one time only, then
yeah, and it's not like SP was necessarily, or UD was in a losing position that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the reason that rule exists is so people don't disconnect when, I'm in a losing position, guess we get to replay. But, no, that's not what was going on here. If anything, I think UD was probably favored in the position. Because that proxy...
I'm not sure. Pepsi had attack to air and attack to pigeon. That's pretty decent. But the game would have been so chaotic, it would have been very hard to see what would happen. If Pepsi rushes like 2 Swifties and then a few gunships, and as you was moving over, he has tech to air, Judy still was nowhere near tech to air. But he has the proxy. It's like probably a small advantage for Judy. Not that big considering Pepsi had tech to air, but I'm not sure. Hard to say.
Hard to say for sure. Yeah, I'm just going to leave the bets the same, and we will just replay this.
It's completely different now.
Everything has completely changed. All right, round 2, let's go. All right, does UD try to proxy a second time?
No way. You can't do it a second time.
What if he does 2 proxies? Double the proxy. No one would suspect UD to do 2 proxies.
The thing is, the proxy you did last time, I'm pretty sure it wasn't planned to be a permanent proxy, because he's dropping on the location where, you know, Pepsi expands, right? So Pepsi automatically scouts it. I think or at least, I mean, maybe that was intention, but I feel like what would have been the best way to do it is basically most of the mexes are in, well, let me use the Epic Paint tool, so you see, like in this area here, that's where most of the mexes are. And if the proxy is in the bottom right, you can just raid all the other mexes on the other sides, basically. And just deny a lot of mexes for Pepsi until the proxy dies. What?
Apparently UD did not even notice that he lost connection.
Oh, what the fuck?
To quote someone in Twitch chat, FAF connection's whack.
How did he not realize it? Like, what?
I don't know. My internet just stopped working. Oh my god, what is UD doing?
No, everyone else's internet just stopped working. It didn't know it was me.
Did UD just control K a PGen?
Huh?
Did UD just control K a PGen? Like, why are those adjacent PGens damaged and, like, he had to rebuild this? I'm so confused.
What the
Alright, UD actually has kind of lost this opening. Well, I think he has enough E to sort of recover.
Yeah. He will barely not stall. He on like 9E, he was fine. I mean, he's slightly delayed. Funnily enough, Pepsi isn't going for his spirit this time.
Nope. He's learned his lesson.
Did he? Did this? Well, wait. I'm gonna look at this stream because he's building the factory right now. On it. It's like 2 minutes delay. So let's see if he actually.
Oh my god! I forgot to switch the screen.
Amazing.
Alright. I only went 2 minutes. Nothing actually interesting happened other than UD maybe blew up this PGen right here. Thank you for informing the farms. But you know, it's got to happen at least to one of these games. But the inherent problem is Yudi's kind of far behind on the opening here because of Pigeon self-destruction.
He is not far behind, that's an over-exaggeration. I'm looking at this POV now, like it must be happening soon, but
It's like after he finishes the third Pigeon.
No, he's then making the next.
Oh, yeah.
I know why he did it, I think.
Why?
I'm not completely sure. I think the moment he did it, it seemed like he did it actually on purpose, because he was mass stalling, then he contra-K'd and reclaimed it before rebuilding it. And there was no UD screeching either. So I think he did it because otherwise he would have stalled mass badly. And I'm not sure if that would have been worth it, but in the end it kind of worked out. I mean, he's still behind, of course, for obvious reasons. I mean, Pepsi is a lot faster with expanding to his max locations this time than UD is. Transport are out roughly at the same time. This time UD is not moving with his ACU while Pepsi is. Pepsi is like, I'm not having any of that again. So, but obviously UD is not gonna do the same drop considering Pepsi left his base. Especially. But Pepsi's gonna drop the mid. Gonna maybe drop both mid locations? No, he's just gonna drop his own side plus the mid reclaim. I'm surprised he isn't going for the 4 maxes on UD's side, because there's also quite some reclaim there. UD actually snuck an Inti around the left side and locked Pepsi's transport, which is kind of funny.
That's brutal.
That is actually brutal. There's no Inti in the vicinity to counter it, and transport, like it's microed, it's stopped, but it will take a lot of damage at the very minimum. Yeah, it needs to drop off.
Yeah, it'll just land. Did we fix the bug where Aeon transports can be kind of invincible in the ground?
I mean, it did just take shots. Yudi is just leaving. He doesn't want to lose his Inti, or he just accidentally...
Wait, surely you should just keep shooting the transport. Like, the chance that you shoot the transport down is worth losing the Inti.
Well, the funny thing is, Pepsi is repairing it, but repairing a transport takes so immensely long, and transports are so expensive E-wise, that Pepsi is hard stalling. Because, like, I've been in this situation before. Yuri doesn't have anything to shoot down the transport, right? Well, actually, he does have 2 Intis in the vicinity. He's trying to scout with his Inti. Like, Pepsi just repaired it, and now Yuri... Where's Yudi's other Inti? It's a bit too far away. The thing is... Even if there's no Intis in the vicinity, you're still so like scared of one being there, because so you want to repair your transport back to full. And you see right now where Pepsi is dropping as well, like he's being extremely careful with it, and it will still die anyway.
It's still locked.
So that was amazing for Yudi. Pepsi stalled E by trying to repair it, and he only dropped 1 engineer off. Bomber is being pretty aggressive. There's a transport from Pepsi on UD's mid side of the island, but he kills the transport. Wait, the bomber is actually invincible. The transport is invincible on the ground. Okay, it took some shots, but the bomber did most of the damage. So the Aeon transport still has the same issues. Or mostly the same issues.
But overall, it seems like Yudi's doing pretty well for himself. He's got good control over the top left. SB keeps getting his transport shot down. Does he even have any left? No. He's out.
Out of what?
Out of transports.
You know, UD has 2 transports and has managed to secure the top left pretty well. Bottom right, none is for none, but UD does have a bomber. There's nice spirits though from Pepsi, which I do like.
Alright, looks like SB's winning this little air fight, and he will kill the transport for his troubles, but not after it dropped all the locations it wanted to.
There's bombers from Pepsi, but they will only arrive after the factory is built, so UD will... Actually, there's another bomber from Pepsi on to the right of that he probably should have redirected to kill those engineers, but it's now too late.
It's busy locking this land factory. Good for it.
I mean, it's... If he just perma-locks, I guess UD has Inti. I was about to like, you can perma-lock it without building engineers there. and it's actually pretty good. Although, if there's an enemy in T, it's not so good. So, start looks a lot better for UD this time. Funnily enough, there's no tech to air rush for Pepsi like last game. And I kind of liked it last game, although it's honestly, considering that UD went for the aggressive drop, it kind of worked out for him. Because, you know, well maybe not. Usually you would have more tech 1 to deny the drop, I guess. But, you know, such fast air, he could have maybe done quite a bit with it. Although I'm not sure you would, like, I'm not sure that Aeon is the one you want to do it with. Like, maybe some quick not ass
Yeah.
with Seraphim. Or like a quick tech to transport and then make some RTs from some drop location and then be extremely brutal with it. Because 50s are amazing and gunships are amazing, but rushed out, they are not as amazing as like rushed out Notas. Like a single Nota on the enemy side of the map is brutal. UD is, by the way, halfway to T3 air. Pepsi is starting his first tech to Pigeon, so this looks extremely terrible for Pepsi.
UD is really rushing this T3 air factory right now. Like
he is he has 2 inties, a bomber, 3 air scouts, 2 MAAs, and 3 tanks.
He's like nothing on this map matters except T3 air.
And he's doing it on 140 mass income because he actually made 9 tech 2 maxes, opposed to the 3 of Pepsi. I mean, Pepsi's bombers will do quite some damage, but they're not gonna win him the game.
He's gonna drop a bunch of flares over on UD's left side, and that could do some damage. But again, it's all UEF mexes. It'll take a while for 6 flares to kill him.
Attention, but all of a sudden UD is like 50 mass income ahead and is massively ahead on tech, so...
He's just got so many upgrading mass extractors. He's just exploding in economy because he's not spending his mass on anything else. Like, he's not really building units or air. SB's building like lots of bombers. He's getting an investment in Navy. He's doing all this stuff. He doesn't have the equivalent maxes.
Early Navy on this map is a prank. It's like just like on other maps, a lot of other 20-kilometer maps. Early Navy just dies to early air. But the longer the game goes on, the more impactful Navy is, because the more of a concentrated group of Navy with like cruisers you have, the harder it is for air to deal with it, especially if both sides have air. But I mean, at least there's gonna be safeties from Pepsi, and he will probably do quite some damage with this raiding. Like there's no counter to these labs and these bombers yet. They're not gonna win them the game, but they are gonna slow down UD. UD is making gunships, but they're just gonna die. Like UD has to make ASF only for quite a bit.
Yeah, UD is losing a bit of economy here to this harassment, but I'm not sure the damage that's being done is outpacing the economic lead that UD took just by grabbing like the whole top left very quickly.
Yeah, it's the main issue is that Pepsi never got the bottom right. He is now going T2 air himself. He is 70% on the way, so it's not like the game is instantly gonna be over. Although I'm not sure why he's moving towards. I guess he's trying to force a SAM for UD, trying to threaten him or trying to lock air. Oh, he turned around right when the ASF from UD finished.
Unfortunate.
But, he doesn't quite have enough aggressive units. But the thing is, he has a lot of bombers, but a lot of them went for like the side islands and stuff, instead of raiding the upgrading maxes from UD and the actual Tick 2 maxes from UD, because those were undefended. Nice, I'm not sure if you see top left of UD's base, nice radars he's making here. Very aesthetic.
Oh, yes. It's redundancy, don't worry. It's very important. So yeah, SB did some damage. He evened up... Well, the gap between their ecos isn't as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
But SB's also getting himself set up to build a nice air grid. So is UD.
Yep, that's... They're both making a nice grid. Now UD is on 7 ASF versus 16 Indies and 6 Thrifties, so he does have enough to win air now. Pepsi is upping all his support factories while rushing the T3 Pigeon, so he's massively power stalling. He also needs to stop making Thrifties now. But generally, he did buy some time for himself, although the eco disadvantage is still pretty bad. Although...
It's evening out.
Judy's stalling.
Oh, well that would do it.
He's rushing a strat, that's why.
Yeah, strat could really help him. Wow, SB has a lot of Mech Marines in the middle of this map. Actually, well, they're flares, but he's got 33 of them.
Oh my god, no! That's a bit of a mass waste. What is really important though is the fact that Pepsi has the frigates. It's gonna give him intel.
And it's gonna kill T2 Mexes.
It's an Aeon frigate, so it is gonna be killing T2 Mexes. Because it has big range. But, like, basically everything that leaves the front of GT's base is gonna get insta-scouted. Which is insanely important. But Pepsi is now making his ASF already, so... he should be able to snipe this spread pretty well, I'd say. He should be careful of fighting air though, beforehand. Like, he kinda needs to play defensively now. His ASU, by the way, is at the bottom right. And is having some questions about, like, some life decisions.
It's wondering how it got here. What it's doing with its life. Like...
It's wondering why it walked there and found 2 PDs from Yuri.
It's like, oh, I guess... Well, it worked out. The 2 PDs dissuaded the ACU from going there.
Yuri is rushing Riptides to counter this one frigate killing all his Tech 2 Maxes. So here's the strats. Pepsi, Yuri stratted the only radar that could see it. What the fuck?
Alright, he's killing a lot of T1 Mexes so far. Alright, but he's gonna start fighting the T2 Mexes.
Okay, he's rushing a Sam. Oh no, that's so bad. Don't fight there.
Alright, he's fighting. Oh, the strat comes in.
Kill the strat, Pepsi, turn around! Pepsi.
It hits the shield. Alright, I don't know what he's trying to shoot here. He's just sort of running away.
Wow, that was terrible.
Alright, the Sam's up.
You know what's really cute? You just threaded the max location behind his base, but Pepsi never bothered to get it.
You just expected there to be something there, but nope, not today.
Sam is up, but Pepsi turns way too late. He honestly could have had a pretty good air fight, because he had so many inties, so many Swifties. Although he will kill the strat now.
Yeah, so, he gets it behind it. Sacks 3 SF to do it, but it's worth.
Yuri is happy about the result.
Hard to complain too loudly when your opponent sacked every single ASF they have to do that. You can just do it again.
Well, yeah, but it was only 3 ASF that were sacked. Like, the airfight earlier wasn't even to kill the strat, it was just because he got caught out of position. But the air grid of Pepsi is quite a bit better than that of Yuri's, although Yuri has more adjacency.
Well,
Pepsi doesn't have enough E actually. He needs another T3 Pigeon. Pepsi is floating 3k mass. He's been floating mass for quite a bit. But this frigate has killed 1700 mass in front of these maxes. He should ground fire the reclaim. I'm surprised that there aren't any RT drops happening from Pepsi.
Or just drop these flares. You've got 30 flares. Put them somewhere.
He's overflowing mass.
Pepsi is? Man.
Yeah.
Oh god. Get him some power.
It's because he's getting the strat rack. But he's overflowing all the. Oh my god. Pepsi,
Make a T3 max out of all this. It's like.
Is this slow POV?
Brutal.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yuri is mass torps. Yuri is going for the ACU snipe and it's gonna work. He's taking revenge for the ditch game.
This is some grade A revenge right here.
His ACU was just chilling in the water and there's 14 ASF for Pepsi, 19 for Yuri.
Alright, SB, you probably cannot survive this.
Yep.
Like, he can't. Alright, here's the air fight. Yuri just has better numbers and better micro.
Yeah. And there's 2 T3 gunships as well next to his the Pepsi's ACU.
Yeah, even if he comes out of the water, he's going to get immediately evaporated.
Yikes.
Did he even get killed there, or did he control K?
He got killed.
Ah, okay. GG's.
He just died very fast.